Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher Circus. Today we are going to be doing an idea that was suggested quite a couple days ago, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we are going to be doing a copycat win streak. So the first match is going to be quite simple because, I have the team that I actually want to play. But after this, no matter whether I lose or if I win, I will have to use the exact same team that my opponent is using. So if you want to do this idea, it would be best if you actually have all the DLC, because, if I wouldn't have the shield breaker, I would already fail the challenge because I can't play her, right? But yeah, we're gonna start off with Shep's Dress number 4, so it's the Occultist variation. Very, very nice team. We have the trinkets that my nemesis, or one of the strongest opponents I usually play against, Silac, usually brings, which is the Rancid Cure-All on the mana arms, which is going to give us a lot of resistances against bleeds especially, and we have Spiked Bat on the Flagellant, so we shouldn't be missing too much stuff. Now, our Occultist is getting focused down pretty hard here, pretty darn hard, by Plague Grenade and the Panic Tars, but we should stay alive for a few turns, and that's really all we need to do some damage here. I think I'm gonna use a command, because even with the Abyssal Artillery, I would like some crit chance, and getting an even more confirmed hit chance is always good, and I really need the punish to land on this Grave Robber or on this Shield Breaker. Now there is going to be a puncture instead, but it misses. Wow, the chance of a puncture missing, it's not every day you see that, but I will take it, I will very much take it. And now let's go for the Abyssal Artillery, so that crit chance is already coming in clutch. And we're doing some very nice stress to my opponent's now backline, right? So the Abomination isn't really the backline character, but he is in the backline now, so we have the stress coming in. And we can punish whichever character I want. Both of them are quite scary. I'm not sure which one is scarier right now. The Shieldbreaker is quite annoying, but so is the Grave Robber. I'm gonna go for the Grave Robber because bleed chance is a little bit better. Even with the Spiked Bat, it's not like you have a like a 150% bleed chance, so you shouldn't really take too many risks with it. And now we're probably gonna get... oh, we're gonna get Beast Filed. Yeah, that does make sense. My opponent did get to go first. They did a gross mistake by not going for an immediate slam or some sort of action with their Abomination, because it just allowed me to slam them. But they still get to go first by round 2, so they can just drop the Beast File, and I'll have to Beast File into their Beast File, which isn't too much fun. But we do get a crit on it, so crit and the Spike Chain means that if they try hitting into this Abomination right now, they're gonna eat so much freaking damage, because that's what Silac brings with his Abomination, brings the Spike Chain. And what does that do? Well, plus 20% damage range skills and plus 45% damage range with the crit and the transformation buff. We're gonna be hitting for like crit 14 with our pulse, so it's gonna be really fun. I think that since my opponent doesn't have any kind of accuracy, yeah, it's going to be really difficult to play with this team, let me tell you that much. But since they don't have any kind of accuracy buffs, I'm just going to go for a bolster and just enjoy myself. And after this, I'm going to pull that Plague Doctor, and the Abomination is going to be in a terrible spot. I probably could have done that before I went for the Beast File, but I kind of just want to get the Beast File off, but yeah, we're gonna go for a nice little pull on the Plague Doctor. She doesn't even have Incision. Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with this team. Oh jeez, it's not gonna be fun. But here comes the puncture. That should do enough damage, yeah. My Cultist is in a bad spot, but honestly, I'm probably still gonna get another action out of him, and he's done so much already that I'm really not too preoccupied about this. Yeah, and with the final action that we're gonna have, it's gonna be a-okay. This team does have a pretty big weakness against shield breakers, because you can't protect the Occultist like you otherwise would be able to. Reclaim wouldn't really do much because, well, there's a lot of blight on me, and the Man at Arms guard doesn't do anything at all because there's always that puncture, right? So my opponent just tried moving forward there with the Abomination. I don't think so. I'm gonna pull your Grave Robber to do even more horror. I'm quite surprised it didn't transform, but oh my god, Pit Fighter's Helm Brass Knuckles on him. Oh yeah, this is gonna be funny. Misses the Adder's Kiss. I don't know why they went for Adder's Kiss there. I guess they might have been a little bit scared of the Reclaim at the start of next round or something. I'm not entirely sure. We're just gonna drop a Bellow here to do some stress. I don't think I need any more accuracy. And in case they don't go for a death blow right now, I could drop a Reclaim, but there'll probably just be a Noxious Blast and that's gonna blight me anyway, so I don't think dropping a Reclaim now on the Occultist would really change too much. Is there gonna be a pick to the face? Yeah, is he gonna stay alive? He is. Probably not for long, but at least for a little bit, and we're spreading the DOT out because we don't want to give too much battlefield medicine value, of which there isn't. This team doesn't have a single heal apart from the Abomination self-heal. Jesus, yeah. There also isn't the Serpent Sway. I don't think I'm gonna win with the team that my opponent has here. They go for the Noxious Blast on the wrong character. That means my Occult is gonna stay alive for a bit. If I transform Slam right now, the Shieldbreaker is gonna go to position 1, which she wants. So that's not great. If I be Smile, it's good, I suppose. Yeah, let's be Smile here. Do some blight to that Shieldbreaker, put the Plague Doctor at 0 and add an Affliction. And the thing is, if I move forward right now, there's a Puncture, probably gets the Death Blow, and then puts my Occultist in position 1. Even if it doesn't get the Death Blow, then I won't be able to go for the pull or any sort of action like that, so I'm not really looking forward to it. It's probably going to be a Puncture either way. Let's see. Is there still going to be a Puncture? No, it's going to be a Captivate. I'm surprised. I think puncturing here could have been smarter, but the Captivate does daze me. But yeah, that means I can't get rid of the Can't Be Guarded debuff, so well played, my opponent. Definitely well played. In response to that, I really want to save this Occultist, but there just isn't much I can do. And that is saddening, but I'm gonna have to drop another command buff here because I need the accuracy again. I do still have a bit of plus damage on the Abomination, so if they try hitting it to him, we should be fine here. I think that A-Bomb is just gonna move forward, so that's okay. Also, I'm not really looking forward to just dropping Beast-Smile to go for death blows. I'm trying to win through stress, and after I transform there's gonna be so much horror on that Plague Doctor that she's just gonna die anyway, so it's not like I'm forced to just drop a Beast-Smile to kill her, so I really do not have to go for that right now. There's gonna be a move forward there. She says no, so my opponent has to pass. Oh, I love it. And now I'm gonna drop a bit of a weird punish on this Grave Robber, which crits. That's good, but it feels so unnecessary because she only took 7 stress from that. Yeah, she could have taken like 30 with the Act Out too. But it's okay. She still has a lot of horror on her. Surprising amount of horror. Did I use an Abyssal Artillery maybe? Yeah, that's probably what happened. And after this, we're definitely gonna go for the Slam on the Grave Robber. So pick to the face, Act Out on the wrong character. You know what I could do now? Yeah, I know what I can do. I can slam the Grave Robber, and then the Plague Doctor won't be able to do what she wants to do. We get a crit on it too. Poor Grave Robber. She doesn't even have Monkey's Paw to receive more crits. That's just so nasty. Look at all the crits I'm getting. I already got like 3 crits this match, maybe 4. Why do you get crits when you don't need them? Am I right? Yeah, so here I get to stay alive, and my Occultist can now go for an Abyssal Artillery. I could heal myself, but honestly I don't mind losing a character to someone that probably needs a prestige, if it lets me finish the match earlier. So let's drop that Abyssal Artillery, and now there's no way that these characters are surviving. They're all so freaking screwed. All that's left is for me to memorize what my opponent was playing, so I'm probably gonna have to go back and look at the VODs because this is very difficult to remember. Like, there's just so much weird stuff going on here. There's Thrown Dagger and Panic Darts and Flashing Daggers. Why do you not have Lunge or Shadow Fade? Isn't that what base game players do? Just Lunge, Shadow Fade, Lunge, Shadow Fade? Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, our Flash one's still okay. The Abomination's still okay. So let's just skip on to the end of this match. Alright, and we're going to a match number 2, and I'm against a darkest opponent with a very nice banner, and I'm playing this horrible this horrible team with horrible trinkets that I was given. And of course, please let me go first. Okay, I do get to go first here, so there is hope. There is a little bit of hope, because I can use my Abomination to slam that Crusader out of position and kind of set the game off for my opponent here. So I do have a few advantages. My advantages are Puncture, and the fact that I went first, and the fact that I have a lot of Blight, which my opponent can't really deal with. Sadly, we do not have the net, and this Crusader does have the glorious standard, so we are not able to push him. But it's not the end of the world here, and why is that? Well, at least we're out of position too, so we're not going to get slammed ourselves. And there's just going to be an immediate command. Well, in response to that command, I'm going to drop a nice puncture on this occultist. So my puncture is ranged, so it doesn't apply the... Did we really fail the 95% move? I'm playing with the most shit-ass trinkets and abilities and characters, and I fail 95% moves. And my opponent's going for stuns. Okay, at least they're going for stuns. I'm not too concerned about stuns as compared to horror. I think that wasting their turn with one of my turns is better than them just, you know, completely destroying me with horror, or maybe even going for a slam on the abomination and getting it. I think that would have been way worse for me, but we do get to drop a plague grenade here, but now we're not going to be able to drop too many more. But we still have the Noxious Blast, and we're going to be able to apply it on the Crusader. My guess is there's going to be a Zealous Accusation here. Please don't crit. Dude, this is not good. This is really not good. The lack of justice right now is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Well, the thing is, my Abomination is going to be out of position after a pull. That's for sure, and I can't even Shadow Fade to put him back into position, because that's how these two characters are cool together, right? Because you have Shadow Fade? I do not have Shadow Fade. Well, there's more than a few things I want to do. I wanted to go for a pull, I wanted to drop a Noxious Blast on the Crusader, but considering that I failed the blight! Considering that even if I pulled the Occultist, he's still gonna go for a pull on me. I'm just gonna do that and take it from there. But my Shieldbreaker is about to get slammed, which is also annoying, but what can I do about it? Oh no, she's gonna get raged? Really? Well, she's raged down to 0. That means that I'm gonna try using her final action in that case. And I could drop an Adder's Kiss on the Crusader, but the hit chances and the hit chances and the fact that I don't disrupt is not too good. And I will disrupt my Plague Doctor in the process because I don't have Incision for some bizarre reason. But I'm gonna get Holy Lance crit. Boy, this is unfun. And I suppose I should use my final Plague Doctor action, or I could go for some counter pressure here. If I drop Flashing Daggers, he is going to go down to 0, and he can't be guarded, so he'll have to heal himself. He might heal himself for 0, and if he heals himself for 0, we're going to be very happy here. I could also drop a Panic Darts to do some stress, but I think just overall some damage here might be better. So let's do that, and he is going to be dropping down to 0 now. I really have to hope that he heals himself for like a very small amount, and after this we can get some pressure going with Puncture and all the shenanigans that we can do after that. So my Plague Doctor is just going to go Noxious Blast on this Crusader, just start ticking him down to 0. We can't fail the Blight with her, thankfully. And I really have to hope that this Occultist heals for like... If he heals for like 5, I would just Puncture and then he'd be in a really rough spot. He heals for 3, that is good. That is really good for me. Well, let's go for a pull here. Normally he would have been stunned round 2 because I had my Abomination action and he should have been pulled, but he wasn't. So instead I'm gonna have to pull again. But we do get a crit this time, so no funny resistances for you. There could be a heal from the Crusader, and that would be really smart, but there's gonna be a heal from the Occultist instead. I do not have a win chance, I think. Yeah, this isn't looking too great. Not after that, it ain't looking too great. But one thing I can do is, if I don't go too afflicted, Fearfuls could move back. It also pass, but that doesn't happen. I could go for this on the Man at Arms, which moves him to position 1, which isn't great. I would prefer going to position, having go to position 2. This is good because now those characters are not in a great spot, but I also get hit by Retribution, which, you know, that's just a risk we have to take here at this point. There's probably going to be Slam Holy Lance, at least that's what I would do if I were my opponent, but yeah. Let's have a look at the trinkets already, because I'm going to have to copy. There's no Bolster, very surprising. There's Net and Flashbound Grimoire, so very pull-heavy Occultist. Kind of regular Abomination with Paddock instead of Net, and this Crusader has Glorious Standard, so yeah, pretty decent team, I will say. And I'm gonna go for this. Maybe get an Affliction going, and the Affliction could save me here. That's literally the one thing I'm looking at. And also the Blight could do a lot on this Occultist, and I might be able to get like 1, maybe 2 kills out of this if I'm very lucky. And that's really what I'm aiming for here. I'm aiming for kills. I don't think I can win this match, sadly. You know, especially I'm not playing with the best team and I'm not getting the best RNG, so it's very, very difficult to win matches like that. But we will try. We will always try. I'm gonna go for a stun on this Occultist just before he goes to position 4 after the Holy Lance. And he'll be dropping down to 0 and he won't be able to heal himself, so that's nice. And now this Holy Lance could hurt, and it does indeed hurt. There is Rite of Execution on that Crusader, so he's kind of like a support finisher character on a team that doesn't really have a finisher character. My Plague Doctor can't act, but she will be able to act if I go Transform Slam. I'm gonna go Slam on the Abomination, even though the chance of it working is low, because there's really nothing else I can do that would be better, and with this time we do get the Slam, so... But you look at that, yeah, he's at position 4, that's good. Here comes the Zealous, please survive. I do survive, but there's a crit on that Zealous. Did you know Zealous crit chance is 7% base? It's really not that good. Right now I could drop the Blight there, I could drop the Blight here, but I'll die if I do that. I'm gonna drop the Blight there and make the Crusader drop down to 0. If I can get these characters afflicted, and at this store, I could just get 1-2 kills, and then the Man-at-Arms can't win the match on his own too well, because Retribution without Shield Spike is garbage. So maybe I can do that. Our Abominations are kind of in a similar spot, except my opponent's Abomination is in position 4. So that's good for me. Please say no. Yes, let's go. The stunned character says no to the move forward, because that makes sense, right? Yeah, and now I get to drop a Panic Darts on whoever I want. I could drop it on the Man-at-Arms, just try taking him out a little bit earlier, but I'm gonna drop it on the Abomination because I don't really want to eat a boss, and I'm a bit more scared of the Abomination as a character. So I'm just gonna do that, and he's in a bad spot now. I'm gonna have to hope that I either get that I get a lucky death blow here, because my opponent can guard right now because there's no more guard break debuff. Yeah, there goes the guard. And how do I break through this guard? I have to slam the Man-at-Arms to position. I have to slam the Man-at-Arms to position 3 if I want to break through the guard. That's kind of what I have to do here. Is it worth it, is the question. Is it worth to slam the Man-at-Arms, or should I just go for something with the Plague Doctor? If I manage to use the Disorienting Blast on the Man-at-Arms and he goes to not position 4, this could have been good. Oh, as long as he didn't move to position 4, this would have been perfectly fine. But now I'm gonna have to hope that Paranoid just, I don't know, goes Weakening Curse on the Shieldbreaker corpse. No, he hits the Crusader, which is nice too. I guess he has 0 dodge now. And he's gonna go Weakening Curse on the Abomination. That is gonna get me afflicted, but that's not the end of the world for me. He had to do that just so I wouldn't be able to slam immediately, but now I will still be able to... No, I won't be able to slam. I'll play to my opponent doing that, because now I no longer have my slam tool, so I can't really break the guard, other than through act outs or getting like exceptionally lucky. So I'm gonna drop another Panic Dart on the Abomination, just try to cause some chaos on my opponent's side with the afflictions. And since I do have the Rotting Trophy, I am doing more stress and I have more blind skill chance, so the Panic Dart is actually quite nice with this. So this is not a very optimal setup. Of course, you'd be better off with... Ouch! You'd be better off with Monkey's Paw and the Satchel of Dirty Tricks, but this is still pretty good. I am gonna mark myself, which is perfectly okay, and I could try going for a stun there, but the chance sucks. I could try going for a stun here, I could try going for a stun there. Slime right now would be quite annoying. I'm gonna drop a stun on the Abomination, because that's gonna make it so he eats Blight while losing his turns. So that's pretty good for me, and the Man-at-Arms isn't gonna be too useful here. If he moves forward, he drops the Abomination out of position, and if he doesn't move forward, then all he can do is drop Bellows, which do kill my Plague Doctor, but you know, she was doomed regardless. Now I'm gonna go for a stun on the Crusader, hopefully get it. Well, I do have the Brass Knuckles, so I literally cannot not get it. So that's nice, but I don't have quite enough stress. This team is, like, if I had the good trinkets and the good abilities, this team could actually be decent. It's just that Plague Doctor Shieldbreaker isn't really very good combo to bring with these two characters, I would say. Right now, I think dropping the Abomination down to 0 would be the play here, right? Yeah, let's make this Abomination go down to 0 with the Blight, and also a lot of stress on him, so that's good. Maybe Paranoid moves back or something. Paranoid might go for some very weird move like Transform Slam on the Abomination. I just have to hope for something like that. And after that I could get a kill here, and then we could snowball. If the Crusader gets healed for 0, maybe. There's always luck. There could always be luck on your side. The RNG can turn at any point in the match, and you kind of just have to hope for it, right? I'm surprised he didn't go for a self-heal, because now I might get a kill, unless... Yeah, I could get a kill here now. I could get a kill. There's nothing my opponent can do to prevent the kill at this point, or at least a death door check, not quite a kill. The kill could not come through. I would rather kill the Crusader, so yeah, they're gonna guard the Crusader instead. That means that if I want, I can stun the Occultist, or I could stun the Abomination. I kind of want to stun both. Please move back. Oh, you wonderful man. Beast Vial. Oh, it misses. Oh, it misses the Occultist. Thing is, if I do enough stress on my opponent's side, I'm just gonna win through the heart attacks. But this Abomination really isn't set up for Beast Vial. He has plus 10% stress dealt, which isn't enough. And he has plus 10% damage, which doesn't really change anything. If you want to go Beast Vial, you need accuracy and blight chance, and stress dealt. That's what you need. Plus damage is good too, on the repass, but you should try getting the plus damage from the transformation, and from getting crits. You can't get that from, you can't get plus accuracy or plus blight chance from, you know, those. Okay, that is going to be an affliction there, so that's nice. The Inspiring Cry hasn't been used yet. My opponent could really slow down the match here by just using Inspiring Cry and all that, but Crusader goes down to 0, Selfish could pass, and after that I see a Panic Darts on the Abomination. He moves back, which is good, because now the Occultist has less options. Occultist says no to the heal, but the Abomination does not refuse it. Sadly, I no longer have my Panic Darts because I'm in the wrong position. Irrational could move forward here. That is a possibility. I wish I had Shadow Fade. Why this team doesn't have Shadow Fade is beyond me. But I'm just gonna drop another Beast Vial. Hopefully do some stress. I mean, that's better than nothing, but I'm missing way too much. Yeah, my opponent got Dodge Afflictions on everyone? Jeez, there's 3 Paranoids in the Selfish. What the hell is this? Just all Dodge Afflictions. This is like having Bolster, you know? My opponent doesn't have Bolster, but they do at the same time. That's really funny. I'm gonna have to move back here so I can actually use Panic Darts again. It's just so much better of a tool than Pick to the Face. Like, Pick to the Face is garbage. Absolute garbage ability. I'm much better off using Panic Darts at this point. I need some good act outs. That's a lot of stress being dealt because of the Wretch's Cloak. Please dodge. I don't even have a dodge chance. I have 5 dodge on me. I went abusive. Oh, jeez. And it's Occultist. I really didn't get the best afflictions on my opponent's side. I usually trash on Paranoid a little bit. I say that it's, you know, it's not that good of an affliction, but you know, it's better than going Irrational. And the dodge is quite good too. So yeah, that's a crit Zealous. I'm gonna be eating enough stress to go down to 0 here, and as much as I like to say Abomination, unless he moves back and Beast Vial crits 2 people at once, I really think that this match is over. So GG to my opponent. Let's see what they had again. Yeah, the Abomination was in position 1, right? I believe so, because I tried slamming the Crusader. So yeah, that's it. So GG to my opponent, and let's go on for the next match. Alright, and this is really funny, because we're gonna have a rematch, and now shyyun is playing... I know this team quite well. It's a very annoying team to deal with, but I'm playing their team, I'm gonna use their tricks against them, but they have Puncture Shieldbreaker. Ah, that's annoying. Puncture Shieldbreaker is very annoying here, but we will have to break through this Vestal team somehow. Now, this is a matchup that I'm really not used to, so I'm not sure what I want to do right now. I'm really not sure. I think command buffing might just be the play. So I'm just gonna drop a command buff here because I think it's overall gonna be useful. I can't Defender, like, but just no point in going Defender. I'm gonna go Command Buff. If they don't go for the immediate puncture, I might go for a stun on the Shield Breaker. So there's a duelist advance there. What's my stun chance? 140? So it's a 90 and a 90. Should I go for the stun? Is that really the play for me? Going for the stun here? I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. I have a lot of plus accuracy now. I could just go for the noodles, and I think that would be genuinely okay here. Transform slamming isn't too bad either. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna slam this. I'm gonna slam the Shield Breaker. It's not gonna prevent puncture, but it's gonna do some nice damage to her. And it's also gonna put her in the back where she can only use puncture, so that's not too bad. It's gonna take her a while until she can use her better moves, so we have that going for us. I'm really surprised it didn't go puncture immediately. Like, really surprised. Because now I'm gonna go Abyssal Artillery, and your Shield Breaker is in a horrible place if it hits. If this Abyssal Artillery hits, that Shield Breaker is essentially dead. Yeah, she's at Testor, she's eating a lot of horror right now. She's at risk. She's at risk. There could just be a direct heal from the Vestal with Divine Grace, which kind of just fixes everything up, if you think about it, so that's not cool. And for some reason, my opponent's team has Inspiring Cry instead of Bulwark of Light, and even though Bulwark of Light would be amazing here against the Hireman, I don't have it. So I'm just gonna have to drop Zealous, but it crits. It looks like not only did we steal Shyyun's team, we also stole his luck. So we are getting the crits with the Zealous, which is great, but here comes the puncture now, as expected. And I think we're just going to use our turn to drop a pull on this vessel, because she's really the most dangerous character in my opponent's team. Even though the other ones are all the damage dealers, and she's the only one that isn't a damage dealer, she's the only one that can heal. She's the only one that can stun. So she is the most dangerous character. Of course, this team, all of these characters have ways of moving forward with quite aggressive action, so that's kind of the idea behind the team. So we want to try taking out the Vestal, and making sure that she doesn't go all the way to the back and just get safe from that, right? I'm gonna drop a heal here because it has double value. It also heals myself for 6, so that's pretty good. And the Vestal is gonna go for just a stun the Abomination, so kind of a pretty passive move there. I could just drop a Bellow, that could be useful here. But my Occultist is in a rough spot. If I go for a guard right now, Puncture won't do enough damage. That's kind of a thing here. But Puncture is probably not going to do enough damage either way. It does like 4 to 8. Maybe 5 to 10? 4 to 8? I'm not sure. What I could do though, is I could drop a Bellow. It's going to get all these characters closer to Affliction. It's going to apply Bellow debuff, so that's good. But this Man at Arms has Numbing Instance, Protector's Kite, so he's a Guard at Arms, but Guard at Arms really sucks in this situation, so there's that. Here goes the Open Vein on the Occultist, and I'm just going to have to pass. And now Shield Breaker's action could come with a Death Blow, or it could not. Let's see, it's a 25, and it doesn't come with a Death Blow, so it looks like there is a little bit of justice in this role. This must be really cool for shyyun to play, because they're literally playing one of their teams against one of their teams, right? And I get a crit 34, so there's the Sword Machine for you. And kind of the problem about their team right now is that unless they get a really lucky, like, Wicked Slice crit, which is what they're going for. No, just gonna go Duelist Advance. Unless they get really lucky with the crits now, my Occultist is very difficult to kill, which of course is not something you want to hear, right? You want to kill characters, you don't want them to be difficult to kill. I'm just gonna drop another Bellow here to further reduce damage. I do have one command buff on me, so I should be able to hit them relatively reliably. And I want to keep my Crusader action, keep healing. The longer I can prevent this Occultist from dying, the more stress I'm doing to my opponent's side, and the bigger my win chances are gonna be. I'm gonna have to play this team after it, and I'm not the best player at this team, but I should still be able to do a relatively okay job of it. So my Occultist is going to go Selfish, which is going to give me a little bit of dodge, but he doesn't have Monkey's Paw anyway. He has the net, so it doesn't really change too much. And let's just drop a Beast Smile, hopefully get both hits. Oh, that's nasty. That is a very nasty Beast Smile right there. Gets enough stress to make her go Afflicted too. And she goes Paranoid for the dodge. Okay, that is definitely a turn for the best for my opponent here, because Paranoid, Grave Robber is another 10 dodge, so that's exactly what you want. And here we are gonna get punctured, which sucks, but there just isn't much we can do about it. We just have to stay here. I could try going for preemptive heals, but that's weird. Do I try going for preemptive heals? What would shyyun do is my question here. What would shyyun do? Like, Holy Lance doesn't really accomplish too much. I do damage, but then it's cleared with Divine Grace. So it doesn't really accomplish too much for me. I'm just gonna heal the Abomination here, as weird as it looks. Because I'm healing two characters at the same time with Glorious Standards, and the Occultist is still alive for a bit. There's gonna be a stun on the Occultist now, obviously, because so he doesn't get to heal himself. But I will still have my Crusader heal after that, so it's not the end of the world here. The problem with the command right now is that it doesn't really benefit too many characters apart from the Man-at-Arms, but it only benefits him the round after this, so the battle hit chances are not great. Not great at all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to command. I am gonna have to command here. I just want my battle to hit, you know? I don't want it to start missing, and if it starts missing, I might lose the lead that I have right now. And I do have a lead. It's not big, but I do have a lead at this point, because the Vestal is afflicted once she acts, and the Grave Robber is also afflicted already, and these characters are walking towards the affliction, so that's good for me. Now I'm in a rough spot, because if I click here, I won't have my heal. But if I click here, I die immediately. So I'm just gonna click here and I'm gonna go for the Holy Lance and hopefully get a nice hit. I'm gonna go for the Vestal. I do some okay damage, and even if she wants to heal herself to cure the horror that she has on her, she has to eat it first. So that's kind of the problem with these horror clearing abilities. So yeah, she has to eat it first, and we get an immediate pass on that Fearful, which is great, just absolutely great. And what I really want to have happen right now is this Arman going for Wicked Slice and getting a crit. If he gets a crit with that, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I am so happy that he got a crit on that. That is literally perfect. And now I still have a command buff on my Abomination, so I can go for a Transform Slam. And this is gonna afflict the Shieldbreaker as well because of the stress on top. Abom, you're going wild with the crits. Jesus. He has gotten... how many crits? Like 2 crits in 4 actions? Like, that's really good for an Abomination. I guess that's Shattered Padlock coming in clutch. Should you bring Shattered Padlock over the net? That's kind of the question. Some people... oh, Daze! Oh boy, I love Dazes. Yeah, should you bring the Padlock over the net? Oh, that's very unlikely. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, sadly, for my opponent. And now I can just de-transform and go Beastmile. Because it has 3% crit, right? And it's 3% overall crit. It's not just on melee skills. So that's really good. That is really good. And it buffs your melee skills by a lot. It gives you 10% damage and bleed on them, which is a 120% base. It's not even 100, it's 120. So it's really good for getting the bleeds. Another pass, just another immediate pass, and I'm gonna have to say that this match is over for shyyun at this point, because their team is just too good, right? It's definitely a nice team, and they are really unlucky, like the past, I don't know, like 4 actions. Just Wicked Slice crit into Daze, into pass, into, you know, crit slam. Just impossible to deal with this. Literally impossible. And yeah, that Grave Robber might sit happily with her 63 dodge or however much she has right now, but eventually she is going to go down because I have a fully healthy Abomination. I have a nearly fully healthy Man-at-Arms, like really healthy Man-at-Arms too. Protector's Count gives you so much HP, and she is almost dead to the stress and the horror that's coming through. So here comes the lunge. Still gets a crit for 15 despite being Paranoid. Paranoid is minus 25% damage, so... but right now we can drop a Zealous here, which isn't a misplay because Bella wouldn't get the kill either way. And we still get the hit somehow. That's really good that we hit. Even with the 63 dodge that she has, the Zealous does hit that quite nicely. So we're gonna have to play this team, right? I can't remember in which position the character started. I think Harman was in position 3. Shieldbreaker in... was that... yeah, that was a crit heal there. Maybe 2 crit heals? I don't know. Is that 2 crit heals or just 1? I think just 1. I can just drop another bell here. I need more accuracy buffs, but I don't need more accuracy buffs, so I can just do this and chill. And the Grave Robber is dead in 2 actions. And if there's no act outs or nothing funny going on, I will definitely go Manacles if I have the possibility of going Manacles, because that's just a kill. And if you have just a kill, you take just a kill, right? Or I could not. You know, it's not a guaranteed chance. I'm kind of throwing this match if I don't go for it. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Just kill the Grave Robber, just get it done with. Don't want to have to deal with her 53 dodge anymore. Just do that, and just take it from there. We have the advantage, we're not gonna throw it, because we can definitely throw quite heavily here. If the characters just stop having act outs, and my characters start going down closer to 0. Yeah, just imagine if I had the 20 prot instead of just missing the early zealots, right? 20 prot would have been super helpful here, even if it doesn't do anything against panic darts and the other silly actions. It's overall just great. I will just drop a manacles on this vessel, she's gonna remove her action, and she is not gone, but she's almost gone, and that's what matters here. After this, I could just drop a bellow, and yeah, let's drop a bellow here. I will have to play this, so I think the Harman was in position 3, Shieldbreaker in 1, Grave Robber in 2, and Vestal in 4th, so she only had 1 dodge trinket and a pull. She had 1 stun trinket, the Grave Robber had both dodge trinkets, I believe. Yeah, full dodge trinkets on her, and the Highman was the finisher character here with Wicked Slice and Open Vein, so no point blank shot. Surprising, but at the same time not surprising, because you kind of want to bleed, right? If you have a lot of protection to deal with, which shyyun has here. If you didn't have this bleed right now, you would be completely unable to deal with the man at arms. You're still unable to deal with him because you're just in that rough of a position, but at least you won't lose immediately. Now there's going to be a stun, but it doesn't matter anymore. I can just go B-Smile into Bellow, and that's going to be the end of that little Vestal. And after that, the Abomination can easily 1v1 this Abomination, which is at just way too much stress and hopeless and all that. Open Vein doesn't even do enough damage, but it does get the bleed. This gives you 30% bleed chance, which is really cool. But it's not going to be quite enough to win you the match, so that's -1 Vestal, and extra stress on the heart attack from... not the heart attack, but from the Vestal dying. And the Highman is dead to 2 bellows, so he might get a death blow here. He's likely to get a death blow here. I kind of just gave shyyun the death blow. I could have guarded, I could have played this way more safely than what I did, but I don't really care. I'm not going for like a kills challenge or anything like that. I'm going for the copycat challenge. So now I've got to copy the team that they have here. Should we do that this episode? I think we're getting quite late, but I'm gonna play that team. I think it's faster. It's definitely a way faster team than Distress. So we're gonna try that, and it's gonna be the final match. So let's drop the bellow, and I'm surprised that shyyun doesn't want to surrender, but it's all over. So GG's, and let's move on to the next match. Alright, so here we go, on to a match number 4, and sadly we're not playing against shyyun again, but it's probably because I had to go back and check the recording, so we weren't really able to catch them in time. So we're playing against another Darkus opponent, Nameless, and with quite a cool team. This is Flashbomb without Punish, Iron Man with... oh, I can't really look at it, I need to play. I really need to play, I don't know how to play this team, I need to start acting like now. Because I'm really not the expert in this. So what would a smart person do, and what would I do? I think maybe just stunning the Flagellant is a good idea, because his action is quite scary here, right? With that Rain of Sorrows and the Crown of Thorns. There could be a flare to just clear it, but that means I kind of did my worth, which was removing the Arbalest action, so that's okay. Now there goes the Duelist Advance onto my own Highman. And yeah, let's have a look at this team now. Grave Robber with pretty much the same setup I have, though. This Grave Robber had a weird setup. She has Lunge and Flashing Daggers and Panic Darts, so she has a lot going for her. And the Arbalest has that. I could be going Panic Darts on the enemy Arbalest. That might be what I want to go for here. I might also want to drop a Vendetta on the Grave Robber, but not yet. If I do that right now, it won't really work out too well for me, because I will probably miss it because the extra 15 dodge. I'm gonna drop a pull on the Arbalest because I really think you can't go wrong with it, because now she has to choose between Bola or Flare, and Bola isn't quite as scary as the Flagellant action. So right now I am out of position here, which isn't great, but Flare won't come with double values, so it's also not the end of the world. There is Flashing Daggers there, so I could drop a Duelist Advance before anything else, and that is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop it on the Arbalest because I think I'm gonna be focusing her down here with Panic Darts and all that. So my opponent is gonna have to drop their own darts if they, you know, they could also drop flashing daggers. The riposte is probably gonna miss. Let's keep that in mind. But it is not a confirmed chance. So here goes panic darts on the vessel. Does get the blind, which is a confirmed chance, and doesn't really do too much stress. Also, our grave robber does not have to pick to the face. If you're put in a place where you have to use pick to the face, you're probably losing either way, so whatever. I could just drop an immediate flashing dagger here, which would do a lot of damage to the Arbles. I could also go just full on aggression, and that is exactly what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna go full on aggression. Sadly, I don't have enough DOT after the Reclaim goes down, and that's what's gonna happen. The Reclaim is gonna go down on the Arbles right now. Like, there's no other move you can do. There is Vendetta, but it doesn't de-stealth. Is there not gonna be a Reclaim? There has to be a Reclaim here. My opponent is smarter than that, right? No, they go for their Harman action. Are they going for some counter pressure, which is the immediate point-blank shot? I'm not entirely sure what they want to do here, but I just think that's a massive misplay because now they lose too much pressure. Now the Arbalist is probably gonna die here, so I'm gonna drop the lunge and I'm gonna get the character advantage because you did not make use of your Reclaim. Your character's out of position. So that's kind of what you do when you have to play a team like this. It's look at this Reclaim. You're oh, what was the expression? You're shutting the barn door after the horse is fled. That is exactly what my opponent is doing here. I'm gonna drop a Vendetta, which gets the 50-50 death blow. So it is risky, but when you play a team like this, you don't really have the best win chances because it's not really meta. It's not the strongest team, right? But if you can play it well, you can have some really cool results, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here. Get some really cool, some really nice results. Now, it's not all over, but once you do get a character advantage with this team, you're in a massive advantage because you still have a massive heal from the Vessel, because she does have her healing trinket, you have her stun, and you have 3 very competent characters, right? So I'm gonna drop a pull on the Grave Robber. If she wants to go Shadow Fade, it's okay. I'm not overly preoccupied about it because I have more actions than you do, and it's not quite as good as kind of using 2 actions most of the time. So here goes point blank shot, which misses, and my opponent leaves. So GG to my nameless opponent, GG to shyyun for playing a team like this. It's really novel, it's really dynamic, and it takes a lot of brain power to use because every single action you have to be thinking like, how am I going to break through my opponent's defense? How am I going to achieve this first skill? I have so many tools at my disposal, I just need to use them correctly. And it's a really nice team. I wish it was a little bit more competent. I wish it was better in terms of like meta competitiveness, because it's good, but it's not quite good enough. If this Harman had better death load chances, if the Shieldbreaker was a bit more of a better character, you know, if the Grave Robber was a better character, if the Vessel was a better character, this team could be one of the strongest, but sadly it's just one of the coolest and not one of the strongest. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed the matches. I managed to win 3 out of 4, so I think we had a pretty good result. The only one we lost was with the weird team, so there's that. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.